welcome back. Okay, so here is part 2 of the videos. I have a trusty little board from Target. It was about $10. A package of markers from, I think, Walmart or something. Maybe they were like $3. I think it was 2 colors, 2 ends. I meant to tell you about my materials. Sorry. I think it came with 4 or 5, something like that. But it's 2 ends, so in 2 different colors. They're like shades of closer to the same color, different shades of the same color. And the 2 types of ends that are on here is the chisel tip, and if you want to see, and the fine tip. Alright, so almost like stiletto nail, and then that angled nail that you can get. Basically that's how that goes. And I have the classic Expo markers, 2 boards, and the Expo 2 erasers, and then I actually have 2 sprays, Expo brand, and another one for that chisel thing brand. So basically that's how that goes. Let's go ahead and get started with part 2, y'all. Let's get started. Okay, so my series that I'm gonna pick now is, I watched this as a kid, is Chowder. Okay, I'm gonna pick Chowder. Okay, so Chowder, I'm actually going to say, oh, I did it the wrong direction. Sorry, let me fix this real quick. And let me change the color, because we already tried that color. So I think, oh, here we go. We'll do this. We're gonna actually do this. So Chowder is my series that I watched. It was early 2000s, Cartoon Network. Basically, you've seen it around Flapjack time. I think after Foster Homes and Imaginary Friends, you know, all that stuff. So, pretty cool. I think before seeing Real, it was weird. I didn't like seeing Real. That's a personal preference. C+. The lowest score so far. Okay, C+. There's a big, okay, there's a few reasons why it's C+. C+ is still passing. It could be a B. When I started watching the series again when I was older, I remember the time I started watching it again, there was some episodes that were a little drier, to me. It was a little bit drier to me. So that kind of brings it down, because they're not even like I don't know. There was some episodes that were a little drier, and just not really my preference. The color scheme is really beautiful at times, and sometimes a little extra. And sometimes the humor to me was a little bit younger than of a humor to me than what I would like, so it kind of brings it down. I knew it wasn't going to be an A personally for my preference as Justice Aaliyah Smith. That's just my preference. So I knew it wasn't going to be an A. I didn't think it was going to be quite a B, because when I did watch, some of the episodes were just drier, and it's a little kiddie for me. But honestly, I would say it's a C+, and there's another reason why. If y'all remember, actually, when it was out and coming out, when I was a child, I actually remember when it was, like, on air, like that, you know, it kind of just ended, and that's not really too many people's fault. If you think of people who did, it's not the drawing, it's not the animation people, it's not those people, it's more of who greenlets the shows, and writing, or budget, or there's still plenty of reasons, you know, people's opinions, other things coming out. Yeah, that kind of hits it bad, though, because it didn't even get to the point where you get so far into the series. I think a lot of times, I believe there is the talk that comes to the series. I may be wrong. This is my personal opinion, I believe. This is not something I'm gonna go tattoo on me. I'm gonna tattoo on my child. It's nothing like that. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I do believe there is a point in the series where there is a conversation. It's not like a terrible, this is of course a opinion, I believe. I think it gets to the point where where they decide, hey, this series is doing good, or it's not. Maybe it's before the season, maybe it's halfway into season. It's probably after season 2, I would say. I think. where they're like, you know what is your plan? Are we gonna start giving people backstories, or we're gonna continue what we're doing right now, or do you have something else you want to do? I think sometimes when you don't come up with something, I don't know, and that they agree with, I think your show kind of just ends. Or maybe some people just honestly come up with something else and they know something else is going to work better. Or sometimes with shows, somebody may just do a show for a little while, and that's just to get their fee out, and to get known, honestly. There is so many reasons why a show can end, honestly, and it can be maybe tied into bigger reasons. A lot of them can lump together, but there's so many reasons why a show could have ended. Who knows why? Some things are just not meant to be, I believe. But that abrupt ending like that, honestly, with the couple of other problems I have with the, with the like stories and stuff, it knocks it down to a C. That's for me. C plus though, because it is still beautiful. The voice acting still well. I like it, and there is interesting. There's extremely interesting, like glue your eyes to the screen episodes. It feels like, but I think it's a C plus. There's a few shows I really want to do, but I'm gonna wait, because honestly, I think my 5 favorites, I can honestly just break those down. Let's do Rugrats. We're just gonna do No, that's not it. So Rugrats was on Nickelodeon. I think it's 90s to 2000s. I think it's mid 90s to early 2000s, I would say. That timing. It's a show about babies, basically, adventures. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just... Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I believe I know what I'm gonna choose. Sometimes its opinions, I believe they change over time. But, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. B minus. So, B minus, y'all. It's really entertaining. There is episodes that really do have you on, like, watching your screen like this. And the Rugrats in Paris, and then the other special that they did whenever the little brother was born, entertaining. Definitely Rugrats in Paris, entertaining. It is a show about babies, and even as a kid, watching a show about babies is kind of like a little bit of a drag. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I get the point. Like, it's cute. Not the world's giantest fan of the animation. Not gonna lie to you on that one. Or really the color scheme. The color scheme is understandable for, it's like a baby show. It kind of helps with the babies. Animation is not really the world's prettiest. But you can tell, I believe it did have a lot of hard work into it, and learning the backstory of the whole Rugrats. I think the creator, I think 2 of the creators were married, and like you hear a whole story and have kids, and like around the time this was their time, they were really getting known, and they already started their family and all that together in that era of time. It's cute. It does feel like something. Honestly, you could see a family was doing something together in the show. Honestly, it's a show about babies, and I watched it as a kid. Sometimes it was already reruns by then, because it was more 90s to me. Yeah, it's about like babies. So as a kid, it's like, the attention span isn't all the way there for me as a kid. And then by the time you're a teenager, the episodes are already... when I was a teenager, at one point, I wasn't watching cartoons. And then whenever I got older, it kind of gets to the point, it's like, okay, not only is the show about babies, but it's going to already have that type of humor, which is like kid humor. It's still a B. It's definitely, again, it's one of those things you have your nostalgia frames on, and it just takes you back. But it's not my type of series. I think actually I'll go ahead and tell you what my type of series is. I really like this view of this person who talked about it. I think there was this girl, this young lady who's, she's a woman, so a young lady. I think her channel is called Old School Lane, something like that. And she does shows like As Told by Ginger, I think Harold definitely, and some other shows she may do like one times on them, and she'll talk to people for all sorts of different reasons, whenever it comes to cartoons, animation, comic books, stuff like that. I'm more of a fan of, I think she said in one of her videos when she was talking about the Hey Arnold, the second movie, there was like all the positives video and all the negatives. I think my favorite, I think she said something that I like, or I think it was her. It was like a slice of life cartoons. I like the slice of life cartoons. I like the Hey Arnolds. I like the funny, but like legit realistic kind of. Heck, even Arthur's kind of like Hey Arnold in a way. I like those. I like the PBS. I think in a sense, I didn't have cable, so I was kind of like forced to watch it a little bit at certain points. And then I got into it and I just fell for it. And it was more entertaining, and it was something more like my dad would watch with me, my family would watch with me, because it's a little bit more mature, it's a little bit more to swallow down. It's, you know, it's a little calmer. The lights, the colors are better, the themes are more mature. All of it. I really like it. Harold, that's more the theme. Heck, even if you want to debate like Doug, Recess, or even if you want to do other things like The Weekenders or As Told by Ginger, things like that, those are more my tea, honestly, when it comes to cartoons. I like those. I like teens and tweens. I'm a big fan of slice of life, and I'm a huge fan of teenagers like cartoons. Man, if you Beverly Hills Teens, it's a show in the 80s. It's the stereotype, I believe, the cereal box cartoons. Beverly Hills Teens, I watched the episodes. I literally watched like 10 episodes in a row, like my eyes glued on, like not even knowing things in the background, like just on it. I watched so many episodes. I think it has 60 episodes. I got to 35 episodes. I had to stop myself because I knew that once I finish the series, I'm going to like be upset, and I'm going to be like, I really missed my show. It already ended in like the 80s, and I think that was my view of like telling you what it showed me, like, this is what I like to do. I like cartoons. I like series. I like this. I like the breaking down. I like animation. I just like it all, I believe, in a sense. I'm the teens. A slice of life cartoons where they're more mature and stuff, and I like the teens, the shows. Let me tell you, I'll go ahead and just give you a hint. One of my favorite cartoons of all, out of the top 5, maybe I'll do top 10 actually, and give you some more. Top 10, one of my top 5 flat out, at least for right now so far, is Total Drama Island. If you know me, like my brother and all of that, I've watched Total Drama Island. Is the only cartoon animated series besides SpongeBob and like King of the Hill. Literally, it's one of the only series that I've watched the whole series, like the whole episode release, because they kind of converted the series. First 3 was like technically that, then they did a different spin-off. It's the only one that I've watched every episode consistently in order. I believe I watched every episode in order consistently when it was on air, and then I went on my phone and rewatched the whole series again, even though I knew it was gonna happen. Like years later, I knew what most of it, not all of it, was, because some of it I forgot, some of it being a kid, and I just rewatched it again, and it just like, it was honestly just nice, you know. So that's my theme. So our next show was, let's see, we already did Rugrats, we did SpongeBob, Rugrats, Brady and Mr. Whiskers, Chowder, and my best friend is, my gym partner, best friend's monkey something, yeah, I forgot, I really did, something about gym partner or something. The next one, I guess we'll go ahead and do is, I don't know, let's think. I'm feeling more Cartoon Network. Feeling to do that. Let's see, what can I do Cartoon Network? Oh, Flapjack. We'll go ahead and get this one. Flapjack. Nah, I think I got this one. Yeah. So, oh, I'm not writing off the coattail of the late 90s and 90s shows. I do like 2000 shows also. I'm a 2000 person. I just wanted to tell you that. C+. Okay. I feel like this is a personal opinion. You know how earlier I told you about how television series get to this point after season 2 where they're just like, they make a decision, are we going to continue this theme? Are we going to try to give backgrounds, backstories, or are we going to try to do something different? Maybe different is like they get extremely slapstick to the point y'all wouldn't even expected it, really silly. Maybe different is literally an abrupt stop. Maybe different is adding a lot of characters, adding new main characters, and it makes a difference. Different animations, stuff like that. I feel like Flapjack did get to the point. Maybe it wasn't that point because they didn't last that long either, I believe. That's another reason why it's to see that whole abrupt ending. I know it's not anybody's fault. That's the reason why I will never say it's failing because it ends at season 2. I'm just saying, I came up with the next one. I'm just saying it doesn't hit the eye right to me. It's not their fault because series can legit end for a lot of reasons. So that's the reason why I wouldn't fail you. It's just like as a complete series, if I'm going to rate it and I have something else that I like more, I believe. I feel like though with Flapjack, I feel like they did get to that day where the executives or whoever had that conversation and they made a decision and they should have chose a different one to me. That's what I feel like. Flapjack gives me that feeling. It really does. I feel like Flapjack, by what I remember, that one I didn't rewatch recently. But I did rewatch, I think, a good chunk of it, but not as recently as I thought. I think they tried to do more silly by what I remember. I think they tried to do more silly by what I remembered. It's already a cartoon. It's already for, what is it, Y7, I think was their rating. Usually a lot of them are Y7. Calm down. Like, it's a kid's show, you know? I know it's a kid's show, but kids are young and they're sculpting, the minds are sculpting lots of changes, of course. Not a doctor, not a psychiatrist. I'm not one of those. It's, calm down. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a show. It's just a little kiddie. It was a little loud for me. Flapjack, for a main character, he really didn't have the world's most personality. Like, I was still wondering what all happened to his folks. Because what was he, like, 9 to 11? Somewhere in that age? Maybe 9, 10? Yeah, Flapjack did not really get into the whole, like, hey, what's my sister doing? You know, he kind of just kept up with that well. I think they even made fun of it after a while. I think they did, where they kind of went with the whole, you know, like, hey, Flapjack, we're gonna go back to the humans for a little while. We're gonna test that out for a while. We're gonna graduate. I don't know. To me, it was a really, it's like they made the decision. I didn't care for it. That's what I said. It's not terrible. The animation was actually pretty cute. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely better than, I would say, more of the Rugrats animation. I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. But it's cute. It is cute. It's kind of rounded off. The color scheme was pretty cute. I like the browns of the ships and things like that. You know, it was just, you know, it did it. It passed. It is like adorable in a sense, a kid's show. Okay, so the next one, I actually can't, this one's better. Actually, because this one I haven't watched in a while. but I do remember watching a really, really, really in-depth. Actually, I watched a few, but there was this one that was really, really in-depth, I believe. Oh man, what was the YouTube channel? It was so many months ago, at least. A review. I'm picking Johnny Test overall from the overall series, and it kind of like summed it up for me to the point I really don't have to sit there and rewatch the whole series if I don't have to. Johnny Test. Y'all are actually gonna be surprised with what I'm about to do. Y'all are really gonna be surprised when I say this. I know. It's the 2000s. I finally, oh, shoot. I was scared. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. B-. B-, y'all. What? B-. There is a couple of things that are annoying about it. There's the obvious things, like the color scheme is quite bright. I noticed more yellows and greens and blues, boy colors, stereotype, but bright. Johnny Test was on for a minute, if y'all ever really noticed. Like, I was like a kitty kid, and I think my brother was watching it for a little while, and then I was like a teenager, and it was still kicking. Johnny Test's problem may have been of a few. I think Johnny Test was on for too long. That could have, but then some shows can last that long. Johnny Test went through a lot, honestly. If you really do look into it, they went from Canadian, like, with, I think, the studio and even voice actors, animators, and all that, to American. Transition was probably pretty decent for as much transitioning as you would think, but it was definitely different. Certain things were quite annoying to the point where it just wasn't gonna be an A. I could tell you that right now. It flat out wasn't my favorite show. It was like the episodes were very predictable. Some of them were completely predictable to the point it was like not even worth watching it. To me personally, yeah, it was really predictable. And especially with like, for having a human majority cast, but then still having animals too on your cast, you think you'll be quite diverse in animals and stuff. You think you could have had the best of both worlds and kind of got more of a story base than like comedic base. Yeah, it was there. I know people are thinking about that crack whipping sound that used to come on like all the time. That was ridiculous. If y'all watch an episode of Johnny Test, and every time you hear like the whoosh, 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 excuse me, whoosh, whoosh, you'll see. You'll all. I'm sorry, that crack whipped though, mamas. That was not it. Oh man. You know what? Let's do a couple of E's. I'll make some couple of E's. I don't want to give it away like that because that kind of defeats the, but I'll tell you some E's are going to come up. What else? Yeah, that Johnny Test, B- honestly is for what it is. B-, some people may think that's generous, but it actually was entertaining. There was something about it. I don't know what, but there was something about Johnny Test that kept me watching it, though. Even when I was older, I don't know what it was. It gave me almost a video game feel. You kind of got a cool little, like, video game-like feel. And then, I don't know, it just, something about it. I don't know what it was. By my memory. Let's see. Let's do something else. Y'all think y'all can take a guess? No, y'all can't. You can take a guess, but Totally Spies. Let's do Bratz, but Bratz had like 47 billion. I'm just kidding. Let's do Totally Spies. actually, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna give this off. Totally Spies, I did really like, but I don't think I remember enough of it to give you a nice, respectable view. So, for this, I'm going to have to do my first one. E. I like those types of shows, and I think I would get into it actually soon and rewatch it, because I do, like I told you, the teenager, and it's semi-slice of pie by what I remember, because it is like teenager and it's like people and stuff like that, and they did have background stories and episodes, and they did, I believe, have character development by my memory, but I didn't watch enough of it recently for me to tell you too many opinions on it. I'm sorry. I don't want to lie to you. Let's do this one though. Ah, man, it was just on my tongue. The Replacements. I actually kind of like this one. This one it was actually kind of there. It was kind of, I'm gonna give this one this though. It was actually kind of there. It was a little, C+. C+ is just about right to me. It could have technically went to a C, but I feel like if I rewatched it, I think I would have a nice view of it, so I would probably end up being C+ again. Cute show, funny, animation was alright, passing, it did its thing. I liked it. Some episodes were a little kiddie, other things, it was a little kiddie, it's a kid's show. That's how that goes, honestly. It's there, it's something I'd watch, if it was on, especially something, like my cousins are over, somebody watched that, something like that. It's cool, I believe. Let's see, after them, let's see, who else? What do y'all think I should do? Oh yeah, I forgot. Just kidding. The next series I think I'm going to pick is, excuse me. Ooh. Alright. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'm going to honestly, y'all are gonna not like me for this, but, no, I'm gonna do this. Nah, I can't do it. I know what I'm gonna do. Yep, I know what I'm gonna do. Yep, I believe that's right. Courage the Cowardly Dog is a B+. B+. Nostalgia lens are on if you say A+ to me. Backstory, surprisingly. A little late in the series for some of the backstory, not gonna lie to you. People, if you like to say, oh, it had a depth and you learned, yeah, but a lot of that was kind of later in the series. It was on from 1998 to 2002, so I think up to 4 seasons. I'm not gonna lie to you, that last season was not the same as the other seasons. The quality, the animation actually was nice, but the quality wasn't really as there. The writing, the script, it wasn't a feel for me. So honestly, for that, I'm not gonna be able to give it like an A. I'm sorry. That last season was just not for me. The last 2 episodes, or like the last episode, Sister, had a nice bow to it. Did not save that whole last season behind it to me. It was just kind of like boring, surprisingly. I guess you get so serious. I don't know. Maybe they could have turned it back with a little bit of slapstick and made it a little bit more interesting. And kind of switched it. Sometimes you need a break from the backstory. You want to just go ahead and flip back. It wasn't that much of a story, though. Some of the story was kind of just crammed towards the last bit. Like, you learn about, like, Eustace's little, the mom. You start to hear a little bit. A lot of that was actually on the later end, I believe. I believe. Now I'm making mistakes. Honestly, it's definitely a B+, though. Man, there is some scenes in Courage the Cowardly Dog that I've laughed so hard I'm drooling on myself. There is some scenes in there, and there are some whole episodes. Literally, it feels like that. There is some serious notes, there is some legit stories, and there's stuff like that, feeling, like standards and how you should be treated. You kind of learn that in that show, that series. More mature, a little scary though sometimes. Like, I believe for that. I believe. So honestly, definitely, I would say it passes, y'all. But it's not really quite an A. That last season was just not it for me. And two, it ended technically with a resolution. If you do watch into it, you do hear more about how Courage kind of really starts to believe in himself. Courage starts to believe in himself, honestly. And the one before that, he kind of gets a resolution of how he feels whenever it comes to his parents. It passes. It definitely does. You do get, there is a wrap up, but the wrap up, I feel like it should have been a movie, but I understand probably budget was not, their best friend. So we'll go with that. Honestly. Ed and Eddie. I don't know why I picked Ed and Eddie this late in the series, knowing completely and darn well that probably needs a little bit more time than what I was thinking. Let's do Ed and Eddie. Actually, you know what? Let's do Dexter's Laboratory first, because Ed and Eddie will probably take some time. Dexter's Laboratory. Ooh. When I looked at some of those, I'm sorry, Dexter's Laboratory. I'm just gonna pick up a scale range and you can pick from whichever one. This is backwards, but this is a 78.5 to an 82.8. You honestly could just lay it down in there somewhere. It can be a B. But by memory, and by my little in-depth reviews that I watched about Dexter's Laboratory, I just remembered another one I could do. Man, that's the one I could have did before that, and I really want to know. Dexter's Laboratory already was probably not my favorite. It does have its moments, it does have its perks, it does have its smacks, and it gives more of a Rocko's Modern Life feel. It kind of gives me of a cat dog feel. It kind of gives me like a mature what's that one, Stimpy the Brain or whatever, all that stuff. It gives me more of that feel. But yeah, 78.5. So if you want to do round up to 79 if you feel like it, to 82.8. Yeah, so basically high C, low B. You could debate. If you want to move it to a B, you can. If you want to keep it as a C, you can, honestly. I'm just giving you that so if you agree with me. See, that's the thing. I don't know if some of y'all watched it, or y'all kind of just with y'all's nostalgia lens, or if you were more 90s at the range, and you were really committed to the early 2000s, and you kind of stopped off before I stopped off, I believe, or whatever, your views on shows and what you watched and whatever. I don't know if some of y'all were like me. I watched the review over the series because you kind of just want to learn more, learn facts, or you're really into cartoons, I believe. But if you ever noticed, that last season of Dexter's Laboratory, I actually think was the last two, but I'm going to give you a for sure on the last one, I believe. Definite. I believe on that one. That last season, animation was the color scheme, the episode's quality, the scripts. I don't know about that one. Sorry. Yeah, that brought that down. Way down. And when I was a kid, I felt like it was kind of slow. I don't know. It wasn't for me. But it's still a B because I think the nostalgia frames are on. And, You know, there was a cast. Just kidding. No, but it was cute. It was cute. Dexter did have a lot of potential. His sister was like the little drastic, the little comedic, what's that called? That character, the comic relief. You know, the family was kind of a comic relief. I don't even remember his mom that much. The dad, you know, I see him sometimes. No characters were really that strong besides Dexter. That didn't really help to me. Yeah. Let's do this one too also. To be honest, there's a few that I may just honestly have to just do on a whole nother video on my top 5. I may actually go into depth by that. But let's go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and do Hey Arnold, because we were talking about that. Hey Arnold. Actually, you're gonna see today. Actually, you want me to be real honest with you, Chief? I'm actually gonna have to say it like this. This I know, I believe. And if you can be either or, you can be, if you feel like here or here. Not counting that first one that was supposed to be a TV movie and it ended up going to the screen. I watched that. I like it more than probably some people do, but no mamas. That is not what I was talking about. Not what I was talking about. A plus or A minus. So I guess A. We'll do an A. We'll do an A. A. There's my A, y'all. Hey Arnold is an A, y'all. A. Hey Arnold, y'all, is a cute lesson learning. The animation, I like the darks. I like the city. I like the tweens. I like the cast. I like the voice acting. You know, I mean, it was adorable. It was just it. Those points, the holiday episodes, the really, really deep episodes. One of my favorite episodes, girl. One of my favorite episodes, y'all, was the one where the, you know, because the grandparents have the little place with the little 2-story building where they rent out the other spaces to people, or 2-story, you know, story building. And there was a man, there's a neighbor, and he's an Asian man, and I believe he's from Vietnam, because, you know, the story would be like that, because, you know, the story. Well, the war came, and, he had a daughter at the time that was a baby, and the daughter, the town or the area was not safe because of, you know, war and stuff. And, you know, you gotta think, Hey Arnold was more 90s and some early 2000s, so, like, these men were grown in their 30s or so, maybe even, not even their 40s, so he would have been around about Vietnam War time. So, basically, what ended up happening was the man and, they never said a wife, but it was the man and, by my memory, and his daughter were trying to escape. These planes had came down to save some people, as many as they could, but the plane came. He was able to rush his way to the front. Him and his daughter were gonna go, and the person on the plane was like gesturing to him that they could only take one, and one person. So he, like, bro, this gonna make me tear up. It's gonna make me tear up, bro. So he said he could only take one left. So he handed up his daughter like this, and he let her go so she can be saved. And he stayed behind. Bruh, I'm sorry. That made me want to cry. I'm not gonna lie. Because I didn't honestly know a lot of people would be like that. And my dad would do that in a heartbeat. A lot of people's parents would do that. He know that it was like, we're not gonna both be able to be saved. So he like let go of his baby. And he's like said, whatever happens, you know, I'll see you again. Sorry. That really do got me going though, for real. And basically he just said, this is, you know, whatever happens, at least I know you're good. That really got me. From that point, I just knew, hey, Arnold, like, it's back. It's back. And then the black kid was there, too. It made me happy because black people. And, okay, then the episode said, you know what? It's not the happy reunions, it's the sacrifices that really make me feel good. Later on in the episode, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Later on in the episode, Christmas had came. Everybody's celebrating like typical whatever. Christmas had came, y'all. And, you know, the man, he's upset. You know, he's like, I really don't have family. I see everybody else doing something. You know, Arnold and them try to cheer him up. They figured out the situation. Well, the family and stuff, Arnold, the grandparents and the family had all gotten together. And they had decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to find his daughter. His daughter's already grown at this point. Should be at least 20s, what we're assuming. So they found her, which you don't even know how that happened, to be honest. That was a flat-out miracle. They found her, and she came up to the doorstep. He was still standing in the background, I think in the fireplace area, just looking out the window, kind of like upset, kind of nonchalant, you know, but not going to bring everybody down, just kind of, you know, just don't want to talk. So, you know, they come, and the daughter just knows. I mean, because, you know, she agreed to come. And the daughter came, and the dad was like, you know, so happy. His daughter's here. She's still alive. She made it, and she wants to see him. He wants, of course, to see her. He still thinks about her. And I guess the holidays are extra hard. So they came together, and, you know, he has his child, and that's it. It worked. It worked, y'all. It was beautiful. Hey Arnold, though, that's an A. That's an A. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is, Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls. It's one of those things I can understand if other people didn't like it. It's like little girl stereotype, you know, but it's kind of not because they're really strong little kids, little girls. My brother watched the theme song. And my brother's like, this doesn't even make any sense looking at it when you get older. But, sorry, y'all. It made me laugh. Well, so, like, what ends up happening... It's like, what business did he have doing that? Like, you're a scientist, and you're sitting over here doing stuff, like, and then too, like, who's gonna watch these kids? He had 3. It's like, man, you don't even have any previous kids, they're already kind of older. I don't know, it's just weird. It's like, dang, you ain't got anything else to do. I don't know. Powerpuff Girls, I'm actually gonna give it a, nah. No. Powerpuff Girls, Cartoon Network, late 90s through early 2000s, I believe. Is their frame. Based off of 3 little girls who had a professor that raised them, kind of all that. I have another series after this I can think of. I think we're going to get to an hour. We're going to see how this would even begin to load, to be honest. We'll see. Who knows? We'll see. I hope. Honestly, it's just out here to be out here. B+. I like the specials. My memory, the last 2 seasons. See, the last 2 seasons that I think it was the special in those last 2 seasons, or the little movie. A lot of people, I think, not a lot, but people who are older who actually grew up watching it, I only remember like the after when they brought it back. That's what the age I actually remember that being out and about. And then the other ones were already reruns. Kind of like with Hey Arnold too. But I just found this. I like this. Basically what happened with that is, I liked it. I still liked it through and through. I know some people, like my brother, who's older and he's born in the mid-90s, mid to little-ish, early-ish kind of 90s. Well, I was born in the turn 2000. I remember he watched it, and he remembers it pretty much, I believe, from the beginning. I remember, like, when they brought it back. I watched the older ones because they were still reruns and they were still on, but, you know, I liked it, you know. Cute. Animation was beautiful, nicely rounded off, quite good. Matter of fact, I think I liked it at its peak. It's just right there. Because when they brought it back in 2016, it was as if the animation was too far ahead. It was a little, for its little simplicity and like what I knew what the little girls were going to be doing, I was just like, you really don't have to put this much investing into the animation. Y'all done wasted somebody's time over here. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Y'all got that poor person working so hard in the animation department. I liked it. It was very soft and rounded out. I thought it was very, very beautiful. Excuse me. Good. Entertaining. Cute. The voice acting. Very known voice actors. Other people, and of course, plenty of other great voice acting. Entertaining stories. Did get a little predictable. Kind of like, not as much as stereotypically as Johnny Test. But it did get kind of predictable, if you can kind of see. It's little girls fighting off crime. You're going to kind of get that predictable feeling soon. It's kind of sad because there are humans. So, like, you could have gave him more backstory. I think they honestly could have gave him more backstory. But the type of way it was, since it's like, in a sense, like they were pretty much born on the first episode, it's kind of like, well, this is them from the beginning. So, like, they could have not necessarily given backstory, but they needed to give them more story and continuation. It was more of a, they really kind of went by the theme. Like they said, oh, we do this. This is it. We fight these bad guys. We have some detours. We get past that. And we solve the day. I think they even noticed that. And they try to do other miscellaneous episodes where, like, they gave them more, like, personalized. It just did not work, honestly. And there were kind of some duds. Matter of fact, I think Dexter had that problem, too. Yeah, Dexter, I think, had that problem, too. I think they had some... They weren't as bad with the predictability, but giving backstories, to me, it didn't hit by what I remembered on Dexter. Not the world's best on that backstories. But, the thing is, with Dexter, though, they technically, the kid's like 10 to 12 and he has an older sister or whatever, they technically could have, like, did something with that and gave him more backstory. And the assumption, if you think of, I'm thinking of the characters, not the name of the show. Powerpuff Girls. In a sense, like, if you see the beginning episode, that's when the girls first came. It's like, well, this is, in a sense, like, this is their beginning. This is their birth. So you got to think of it like this. Like, you got to kind of just give them more story. You can't just be like, yeah, and they did this 45 years prior. How the heck did they do that? They're supposed to be humans. You know, that's what I mean. Like, how they do that. So basically, I believe that's how that went. Powerpuff Girls, cute. Music was actually entertaining. Special smacked by what I remember. Specials were pretty cool. And, you know. Did I do Camp Laszlo? Camp Laszlo will be a really quick one. Sorry if I actually did it already. I didn't write it down. Camp Laszlo. B. Camp Laszlo was not a serious show. I'm sorry, my nose is allergies, I believe. Camp Laszlo was not a serious show. It did what it did. It was funny. It had its thing. For how kiddie it was in the time period, I think my gym partner was a monkey, and all the other ones that were real kiddie and animal shows really popular for that little time. And there are still, of course, to an extent. It was like everyone had an animal show in the early 2000s. Cartoon Network, early 2000s. It was definitely, it's not a 90s show. You can look at the animation alone, and that will tell you that answer. Cartoon Network, early to almost a little bit later in the 2000s, kind of peaking, ending on it. Yeah, it was, yeah, it's entertaining. It was cute. it was loud and stuff, but it was like catchy. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like forced. It felt like happy. Like, I don't know. I don't know, the entertaining. The main kid, Laszlo, actually felt like he was happy doing what he was doing. It felt like a kid show. It felt like a full-fledged kid show, and it had its nice aspect. Camp Laszlo, though, I think lasted a little bit longer. Excuse me. But then some of the other ones, like Chowder and Flapjack, I believe it did. But I don't think its ending was probably the world's best, too. I just don't think so. I don't think it lasted long enough. So I would say a B. B. It was cute. Good voice acting. Nice voice acting. Very excellent. The voice acting, excellent, I believe. I will say that. I will definitely say that. Animation, cute. Rounded off. A little sharp on the edges, certain things I liked. Foster Home and Imaginary Friends. Let's go ahead and do this one too. And let's, yeah, there's some I'm not going to be able to do. Like, Ed and Eddie, that's not going to be in time. Total Drama Island's not going to be in time. I'm shocked I even got Courage the Cowardly Dog out in time. I'm really going to be real with you. I'm just kidding. But Courage the Cowardly Dog, I really could have technically went more into depths about that one. But we'll go ahead and do, what did I say I was going to do? Shoot. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, Camp Laszlo and all that stuff. We just did that one. But, see, that's the reason why you should really write down stuff. But, I don't know. I don't want it to be too scripted, too themed. Because it's not a, like, you know, that type of topic. But I think that's kind of close to it, honestly. I think I got to an hour. Oh, I know some I would not do in the timing because it just wouldn't be like Ed and Eddie. I can really dissect into it. The Total Drama Islands would not do. Courage the Cowardly Dog I technically could have done more on. Yeah, there's some I'm just not gonna do. You know, there's just some that I like a lot and that I know I could say a lot more to, and I just feel like I would be, you know, not telling you my piece. Honestly, thank you so much for watching these. And let me see if I can think of one I can do real quick to kind of just, you know, just give you a little extra. Let me actually give you a couple of E's. I might as well just tell you. Chalk Zone is going to be an E. By my memory, I remember it being on when I was little. It was one of the earliest memories. Cute animation. Not my favorite, but cute enough animation. Voice acting was pretty decent. Kind of the familiars on there. Cat Dog is another, technically an E. I did watch a good chunk of Cat Dog. I will say, by my memory, though, some of it was quite predictable. Very short series to me. Very short. I believe. And you know what? Samurai Jack, I will do another E on that one. Did not watch it enough to tell you. My brother watched this one a lot. I personally did not watch it a lot. Ben 10. Let's do Ben 10. Ben 10, the original series. I'm not doing the one where there was... I watched the original one, and then I watched the one where they became teenagers, and then there was one where they became really, really little. Scooby-Doo. I just thought of Scooby-Doo. I do not have time for that. Sorry, Scooby-Doo just popped up in my mind. Sorry about that, y'all. It's kind of like a little brain fart. You know, sometimes you have a brain dump feeling. That's what that was. Yeah, I would not do Scooby-Doo, though. I don't know why I thought of Scooby-Doo. Ben 10, though, I'm gonna do the original one for y'all. Ben 10, okay? The teenage one I do remember of kind of gave me almost a, what was that show I'm thinking of? Kind of gave me a Teen Titans feel. They was trying that, and then it was kind of trying that, how the 2090s and stuff like that, they kind of like those Batmans and comic book cartoons. They was trying that. It had its points. It had its moments. And then they had the kids, like the really, really animation, and like the really, really cute one that they brought back later on. Did not watch that by then. Not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna do original Ben 10. Ben 10 actually, yeah, we'll do this. To be honest, I'm gonna be real with you on this one. Ben 10, C+. Again, background story, I believe by what I remembered, is actually pretty decent. Background story, they did give you some background. Animation was really cute. Voice acting was nice. I believe, still a blessing. I like the grandpa's voice especially. Yeah. Animation was nice. The color scheme was pretty. I like oranges. They had some nice oranges and yellows and reds in there. And then I had the nice calming browns. Realistic. They were definitely not slapstick or anything like that. They were more story-based. They did have some entertaining, cute moments. So it does definitely pass. I do like storylines. Because, of course, how I told you I like the slice of life. And I like the teenager. And it was kind of tweens. So it didn't really give me all enough teenager like my favorite, but it did give me slice of life. So it's definitely a higher range of the C's. Nice. Again, C+. I think that's it. One more just to kind of add it on there, and I'll tell you my goodbyes. Let's do Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. Let's go ahead and do this one as, yeah, I'm going ahead and, oh, yeah, we'll be here. Johnny Bravo B. Johnny Bravo's episodes where Johnny Bravo kind of had a problem too. Let's be real honest. Johnny Bravo's timing wasn't the world's worst. On how long it lasted. It actually did last kind of long. Not overly long, but kind of long. So I won't say, didn't get that abrupt ending that I don't care for. The animation really wasn't my favorite too. The color scheme was cute for the animation since it was more simple background. So the color scheme was just right for it. Because you wouldn't want bright and obvious colors if you don't draw backgrounds. That's just how I feel. I believe. Certain backgrounds, at least. It's repetitive to me. Johnny Bravo's character himself as the main character does not have the world's most development. And his outside characters do not have the world's most development to even help with that. And it has another problem. So, like, I'm not the most stereotypical, like, I guess what someone would say the quote-unquote SJWs. But I will say it is kind of annoying after a while if you have this dude, like, going extremely too far. Clearly, it's a cartoon, so I'm not going to just sit here and just, like, bust out crying or have any of that stuff going on, but it's kind of annoying with that. It's a little, you know, I can respect, if I can understand how someone would be like, really, we're just gonna be doing this now, but it's time, I believe, and I know that's not an excuse because wrong is still wrong, but some people don't even talk about certain topics. And if you don't know, you don't know. That's the thing. Wrong is still wrong. But if somebody doesn't know because it wasn't taught upon them, they don't know either. But once you know, I believe, then dang, come on now. We got to get right. But, you know, I pray you change, honestly, because I'm not perfect. But we need to be right. The whole consent thing is not really the world's best in that. It's a cartoon, so flat out, again, it's one of those things. Just not really for me. Very, again, predictable too. It's like the only thing he does is try to hit up girls. Like, mama said no. I'm not to the point where a guy can't come up to a girl. I don't consider that harassment talking to a girl. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's conversation. I'm not that type of person who says, oh, you shouldn't be catcalling or that's the worst thing. I'm not going to be like that because that's literally conversation. I don't like, and the problem is when you pass the line and you demand something. For example, he was like physical with it. Like he grabbed a girl by the arm, throw her like that, and put her in like a position where it's like a vulnerable physical position. That I did not care for. I know it's a cartoon and stuff like that, and I know it's not even should not be taken like, oh yeah, that's Johnny, yeah. Next time you see a girl that you like, you know, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, Johnny, it's nostalgia frames probably honestly got it to a B. It could have been a B minus, honestly. Yeah, maybe a B minus for me, but I think I would have to rewatch through it, because it's predictable. That's the thing. It lasted an okay amount of time for a cartoon series, at least for the standards that they have, that I can tell. Would I know if they're standards? I believe, of course, because I'm not working for them, and I'm not even a person up at top who greenlit stuff. But as a viewer, I think the standards of what the shows were on around, and I think it lasted actually on the longer end for that. What I remember. Matter of fact, how long did Johnny Bravo last? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna Google that up for y'all real quick. I'm just kind of curious about that. We're already over an hour, to be honest. We're literally already over an hour. I know it was on too long, but let's see, 1995 to 2000. See, that's why I knew it was on the longer end. 1995 to 04. Yeah, it's 4 seasons. Sorry, that must have been a gap. Did they not do anything for a good 4 years? There must have been a gap between the... Yeah, there had to have been a gap. How is it going to be on for going on? Yeah, 2004, 2004. Oh, they skipped. Oh, 03 is just not even on there. And then, yeah, they didn't do anything in 03. Yeah, there's a 1999 episode that somehow got put in there. It's random. 1999. 03, they just didn't do anything. 1999. And doesn't make any sense how it's on the season 2. But it started in 1999 season 2, but it started in 95. So they didn't do, what it was that, they didn't do 96 and 97 or 98? Was that just a weird amount? That's weird. Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory was on for a while. Sorry, I'm just Googling up stuff, talking to y'all. That's weird. 03, they didn't, by a basic Google search, they were just not on in 03. Yeah, wow. So that's kind of how that goes. Yeah, Wow, that's something. Totally Spies. You know, Totally Spies was technically on for, like, I don't know. It was weird. It was on for, I think, what was it on to, like, I thought it was on to, like, 2016, or I just vividly remember it. I'm weird with that. I'm trying to Google up Totally Spies. High rating. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, their spinoff was The Amazing Spies. What's that? I may watch that. You know me, I like that. Oh, are they kids? There's a boy now, too. The blonde girl isn't there. Maybe these are their kids. Yeah, because wasn't she the one in the... Oh. Alright. Hey, Amazing Spies. Oh, it's high ratings still. 2009 to 2012. Oh, we have a little minute. Okay, 3 years for a spinoff is not... I like how it says in this comment right here, it says, this show reminds me a lot about Totally Spies, including the organization they work for, and the Totally Spies are amazing. So I advise to watch it. I don't think this person got the whole fact that this was the spinoff. And it's not any hatred, but it kind of just made me laugh looking at that. Okay. Oh, wow. I see a rating. It says around this one random Google, it says 13 plus. It did seem a little bit more teeny. It had some more like high school themes. I mean, kids aren't going to understand a lot of high school. I'd rather you just straight tell me than me trying to like break it down on certain things, because, you know, that's how that goes. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so this video was over an hour. Honestly, next week, or it is Monday, so this week just started, I may do one more, and I think I'll go ahead and do my top 5 favorite shows. favorite cartoons. That, it'll probably be maybe an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. But it should only be one video because I'm going to tell you my top 5. I already got it kind of listed up. So I guess I'll see you next time. Let me go ahead and give you a leaving message though. So I want to say I love y'all all. God bless y'all in Jesus Christ's name, and I should be seeing you soon. And take care. Lots of love. Do what you're supposed to do first all. And I'm glad for y'all watching these videos, I believe. So let me go ahead and give you a little drawing. We're already over the hour, clearly. So let me go ahead and give you a little drawing of what my skill was, okay? So, here was me. So here was my drawing. Me for just telling you my standards. So, you know. Okay, so I'll see y'all next time, y'all. Okay, take care.